Okay, we got about, what, 10-15 minutes before the event starts? Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm here with a group of guys that light from that thing is really ruining the shot. So I'm going to stand over here so that you don't see how you're drowned out. Could you stand over here and I'll go over here? You'll notice I don't shut off the camera because I don't edit my film. That way everybody knows it's straight. And your name is?
Masood.
Masood, and you? Saeed.
Dan.
What? I'm sorry? Dan?
Yeah. Carlo.
Carlo. And you're all here to support Ron Paul. Now, how many of you, are any of you from, I know that some of you said you were from out of state. Where are you from?
New Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey. Jersey.
Yeah. Originally Jersey, yeah.
So Jersey guys, I mean, I'm Sicilian, so I would fit in with you very well. Ma'am, did you need to get through?
No, I was looking at your tie.
Oh, thank you very much. That's my little flag tie. So, another person? Boy, lots of Jersey people here. All right. All right. Why Ron Paul? I'll start at either end. Who wants to start? Okay.
I like Ron Paul because he's the only candidate that is socially liberal and fiscally conservative. And I think that's a message that resonates with today's youth. I think young people are socially very tolerant, and I think they don't have the patience for big government programs. And I also think they don't have the patience for endless wars. If you put those three together, there's really only one candidate that espouses those messages, and that's Ron Paul. I think young people aren't really attracted to him as a candidate, as a personality. You know, he's a 76-year-old guy, not necessarily the best communicator. He admits that. So I really think it's the message more than anything else that's attractive.
Now, I'd have to disagree with you on the communicator because I think he expresses himself fairly loud and clear. I mean, there's not a person, and now I speak this as a person who's endorsed another candidate because I want to be straight with you, Santorum.
Oh.
But I cover every. Hey, I want to be straight for you.
Fair and balanced.
I always am straight with people. That way you know where I'm coming from. But nobody questions, from anyone I've talked to who opposes or supports Paul, nobody questions that they know his positions. But I have to disagree with you on one thing. This isn't just young people. I noticed
There's an awful lot. Now it has, demographically it's changed since 8. In 8 it was only young men.
2008. Yeah, I was here actually.
Yeah. So you were here for the previous one.
Yeah, I've seen.
And ma'am, would you care to give your name, by the way?
What?
Would you care to give your name, ma'am?
Dr. Judith Trent.
A pleasure, doctor. And so the appeal of Dr. Paul has increased over the last 4 years.
Has broadened.
And
demographically.
would you say it's because of the fiscal message in a time when the fiscal message is...
I think yes. I think yes.
No one was paying attention to Ron Paul in 2008 when he was talking about the Federal Reserve, when he was talking about monetary policy. And I think the past few years have kind of borne out the fact that these are important issues.
Yes.
Now, I'm so good.
And it was interesting because he has broadened the issues, but I still think the core of support is economically based.
Now, there's one other thing that I think you haven't brought up that I've written about a couple of times, is that Ron Paul has built a base of support over a period of years. He's been giving this message for a long time, and there's a lot of young people who he approached in 2000, let's say, with this message, who are now 30-something, who are also supporters. I know businessmen in Worcester, for example, people in my own town. I live in a place called Fitchburg, which is about 45 minutes from here.
Because they're starting to pay taxes. When you start paying taxes and you start looking into what the government's actually spending the money on, you start to question, do we need all these wars? Do we need all these big government programs? And you really start to seriously reevaluate the role of government in our lives.
Now, to what degree would you guys say that Ron Paul has already won the message war in the sense that everyone is now talking fiscal responsibility? Even the president who's not practiced it, but everyone's giving lip service to it. To that degree, has he won the
He's won the battle, but not the war. Until it actually happens, until I see some proof, that's when we know we won.
But is it him, or is it a matter of circumstance? We're just coming out of a deep recession, we're coming out of 2001 terrorist attack, there's there's a fiscal crisis in our nation, and it's an economic crisis in our nation. Was it Ron Paul that caused that? I can't say it was.
Well, not a question of him causing it, it's a question of you could argue that he saw fiscal responsibility as a key issue way before a lot of people were talking about it.
No one's talking as extreme as him. He's talking about ending with the federal income tax. He's talking about cutting $1.2 trillion from the national budget into 1 year. It's much more extreme what he's talking about than what anyone else.
And again, everyone's always been talking about fiscal responsibility. I mean, go back to all the Republican candidates for the past.
But he's talked about it more seriously. I mean, let's be fair.
He's actually talking about implementing spending cuts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's been talking seriously.
Even if you look at the candidates now, none of them actually propose spending cuts. They propose decreases in the rate of increased spending, but no one's actually talking about cutting the budget, which Ron Paul is talking about.
Okay, last thing. Now, I've already told you that I already endorsed Santorum 7 weeks ago. So I was for Santorum before. I don't care. Well, so let them look at me. I don't care. They're going to recognize me for the hat anyways. But now, you guys are Paul supporters. If you had to say one sentence to persuade me why I'm wrong and what the sentence that you would give me to change my mind, what would it be? Who wants to start? You decide?
I'll take it.
Okay.
2006, the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington voted Rick Santorum the most corrupt senator out of anybody. Also, Ron Paul is a guy that you can trust. What he says, you can believe in him. He's been talking about it for 30 years. If they're all talking about the same message, he's the only guy you can believe that's actually going to do it.
Okay. Anybody else want to take that as well?
One sentence, right?
One sentence if you can do it. That was a long sentence, but it's a good one.
I'm a patriot, and so should you be.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, look at the record. If you are actually serious about having someone in office who wants to, actually spend less, there's really only one candidate out there for you. That's Ron Paul. Take a look at what he's actually proposed. Very, very concrete terms. No other candidate has made those concrete specifics known.
Okay, I'm going to ask a 2016 question because it occurred to me while I was asking that. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that Dr. Paul, I should say Congressman Paul, doesn't get the nomination. Rand Paul in 2016?
I'd vote for him.
Vote for him? Well, we got to evaluate what he stands for. I'm not too familiar with his positions exactly, but
now I want to give you credit. You're not just passing on the baton you want to see. That shows an informed electorate.
Yeah,
that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks an awful lot.
Thank you.
You guys have a good